financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to Law and Reality. This segment, I'm the client, I have a problem, I've got debt, and I'm behind on my home. And my partners here are going to help me. Brian Small,
good morning,
good to
Ken.
see you, co-host.
Always a pleasure to be here.
And along with Brian today, we have Garrick Asipians, who is a senior member of our financial crisis team. Garrick and Brian together, I would say, are the gurus at Thav Gross of addressing financial crisis problems, along with me as a senior guru, because I'm older than the two of them, but not as old as they are combined. But this is the team that comes together.
You still got your ARP cards, so.
You don't have an ARP card yet?
No, I'm
They're
not.
sending to you.
I'm
believe
not
me.
50 yet, thank you.
They start sending at 46, I remember. I finally joined, for the record, on ARP. I resisted for many years, but you know why I joined?
You wanted the discounts.
No. Their newsletter and their information is phenomenal, and a lot of it we actually use on the show at times, because they have some very good articles that go there. The discounts are available everywhere. Anyway, let's focus on the issues. Here was the thought process that I had for the show, is we talk about this all the time, we do our case studies, but it's another thing to live it and to really understand it from that perspective. So I thought we'd do a little bit of role play. I'm going to be the client, and I'm not going to be the easy client. I'm going to be the client that somewhat asks a lot of questions. And we're going to do it this week and in our next segment as well. Our next segment's going to focus on debt problems with tax problems. This one's going to be debt problems with a house problem. So, and I've come into Thav Gross, and I'm sitting down, and I've got the benefit of both of you meeting with me, not just one of you. Normally, I would assume it's just going to be one of you, but we're all sitting together. So here it is. I'm here. I walked in. I've sat down. I'm in your office, Brian.
Good morning, Mr. Gross. How are you this morning?
I could be a lot better, to be honest with you. It's nice to see you, but I'd rather not be seeing you here. It's not exactly what I wanted to do with my Sunday morning.
Well, most
To be
people.
perfectly honest, I would rather be golfing or have the money to play golf.
Well, most people don't wake up in the morning and go, "Gosh, let's see. I'll get a haircut today. I'll go to the dentist. Oh, I'll file bankruptcy, or I'll go see an attorney about financial problems."
I don't want to file bankruptcy. I'm not here for that. I'm here. I have a financial problem. I want your help.
Well,
I don't like the word bankruptcy at
I
all.
understand. Let's look at all
My
of your
mother
options.
told me never file bankruptcy.
Okay.
But let's put everything on the table, and then we'll discuss all the options, and we'll move from there. But you're here to get information, and that's our job, is to put everything on the table so you can make an informed decision.
I like that idea. So do you want me to give you an overview of my problem?
Sure.
Please.
Okay. I'm married. I've got 2 children living at home. I have $50,000 of credit card debt. They're just about maxed out. They've gone up because I was borrowing from one with cash advances to make the payments because I don't have enough cash to get there. 4 years ago, I only had $20,000 of credit card debt. I make $60,000 a year, which is $5,000 gross. I take home about $4,100 a month. I have a house. It's worth today's market $100,000. I check Zillow and ePraisal and those websites, and I think that's about the correct value. I have a first mortgage of $115,000. My payment's $950 a month. I have a second mortgage, $40,000. The payment is $350 a month. I'm 3 months behind on my payments, so I'm 90 days behind. I realize I'm behind on the home, but I would like to keep it if there's a way. I don't want to lose it to foreclosure, and I'm worried about that. And my monthly budget is, first of all, I'm paying $12.50 a month on these credit cards. My mortgage payments I told you about. In addition, I've got 2 car payments. One is $450. I'm buying the car. I owe about 10 grand. My second car payment is $250. Gas, food, $600. Car insurance, $500. Utility, clothing, health insurance, another $700. My total expenses are running $5,350 a month, but I only got $4,100 of income. So I'm short $1,250 a month, which just so happens to be the amount that I'm paying on the credit cards on the minimum payments. So I'm in a mess. I recognize it. I'm probably better maybe than some of your clients that come in because I've run all these numbers for you because it just so happens that I have an accounting degree. But just because I have an accounting degree doesn't mean I've done a good accounting of my household finances because I've got problems. The problem isn't the expenses, to be perfectly honest with you. The problem is I don't make enough money. The problem with that is I'm kind of stuck in where I'm at. I can't get a raise. I'm too afraid to quit because I don't want to move to a different job and lose the job security. I've got a wife and 2 kids to support. So I'm in a mess, and I'm stressed out about it, and I'm not happy about it, and that's why I'm here to see you guys. Help me.
Well, that's a pretty dramatic situation that you're facing. However, there are
Typical
solutions.
situation.
Is it uncommon?
No, as Garrick just said, it's typical. And we don't want to say that you
I feel like a failure.
should never feel like a failure. Financial problems are caused not by you, they're caused by economic stressors in society. All you did was do what you needed to do to make sure there was food on the table to protect your family. And if you look back at it in hindsight, you ask yourself, would you make the same decisions? The answer is probably yes, because whatever you
I might
did,
have a couple lower car payments, but other than that, I don't see where I can move any money on my budget. I don't
Right.
have any. There's nothing there to feed a family of 4 on $60,000 a year of income. Is not an easy thing. I should have married a wealthy woman.
hey, well, there's plenty of them out
It's
there.
too late for that though at this point.
Never too late. But it's a mathematical formula.
How do I save my house? What do I do?
Well, we have some various options.
And
Let's-
even though I'm your client, I'll give you a cue. We're coming up to a break in about 10 seconds, but give me
It happens every day.
give me an exit.
give you an exit, we're going to look at the various bankruptcy options and non-bankruptcy options to decide whether or not you can save your house and how to save your house.
We'll be back after the break.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
It's devastating. The effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Thav Gross 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, welcome back. All right, so we came up to the break. I'm the client. I told you my whole story. You said to me you're going to talk to me about options. Tell me what I can do.
Well, let's look at the
I
simplest
want to keep my
option
house,
first.
and I want to get rid of all this credit card debt.
Great. Let's
Those
look
are
at
my
the
goals.
simplest option first. Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I know you said you didn't want to file a bankruptcy, but in this
No,
case...
my mother didn't want me to file bankruptcy.
Well, in this case, a Chapter
and I
7
don't like
bankruptcy
the idea of it either.
is the simplest, most straightforward method to eliminate your debt and get you a fresh start. And in the bankruptcy code, everywhere in it, it says fresh start. It's designed to draw a line in the sand and give you the opportunity to redevelop your credit, create an opportunity for you to move forward, and in this case, it will eliminate your credit card debt, and it will also eliminate your personal responsibility to pay the underlying 2 mortgages that you have. The importance of that is you've indicated you're not sure how long you want to stay in this house.
So if I don't have to make the payments on the house after you file the bankruptcy?
If you want to stay in the house, you have to pay for the house.
Okay.
When you are ready to leave the house, if it's worth more than what you owe on it, you can just sell it in a traditional
Well, it's only
sale.
worth $100,000 and I owe $150 on it.
Right, we don't know how long you're staying.
Okay.
You could just sell it in a traditional sale, pocket the money, and call it a day.
And if it's underwater,
You can just walk away because you filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
will they sue me then?
They can't if you don't reobligate yourself on the underlying mortgages through a reaffirmation agreement, which you don't have to do. As long as you stay current on your mortgage, you can keep your house.
All right, so I still have to pay both mortgage payments to
Yes.
keep the house.
Yes.
What happens to my credit card debt if I do that?
Gone.
Right, so I don't have to pay the $1,250 a month.
No.
How long does this take?
How long does a Chapter 7 take?
Average 3 to 5 months from beginning to end, an average case, and it's pretty painless.
What's it cost me?
Anywhere
Around.
from $1,200 in attorney's fees to $1,700, $1,800 in attorney's
So I have
fees.
to
If
pay
you have
that to you. I don't have that right now in cash.
well, we work out a payment
It's
agreement
manageable.
with you.
Okay.
It all depends on your situation. Most cases fall into that range.
I've watched your show and I've listened to your shows. I hear you talk about
So you're the one.
debt. I hear you talk about debt resolution. I hear Ken talk about debt resolution as well. I like Ken a lot, just for the record. I think he's very astute in his way of presenting the issues. But I also like you, Brian, and I listen to you on the radio. What about using debt resolution as a way of getting out of this so I don't have to file bankruptcy?
Well,
Then I just settle for pennies on the dollar.
sounds great, doesn't it? Pennies on the dollar. Let's settle for that. Where are you coming up with the money?
I'll just get it from somewhere
But you can't get it from somewhere
because I don't have it.
because you don't have it. And it doesn't make any sense.
So does that never work?
It does work. Sometimes, if you said to me, I also own a house up north that's paid in full worth $150,000, we would be
I
looking.
could sell the house.
You could, but if you said to me, I wanted to keep it, we would try to find a different solution. And debt resolution might be the methodology.
Does that mean because if I had this house with $150,000 of equity, I wouldn't be eligible for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy?
That
You will be eligible, but there's a good
It wouldn't be a
chance.
good result.
Good chance that a bankruptcy trustee might want to
Sell that
sell
house.
the property and give some money back to the creditors. So
That- we wouldn't
we'll
want
have to go with Plan B.
All right, so debt resolution doesn't work for me because I don't have the assets, and not only that, but debt resolution. If I had $50,000 of credit card debt, how much would that cost me to settle that credit card debt?
probably somewhere around $24,000.
Whereas if I'm understanding you, I can get rid of all $50,000 of credit card debt, discharge my obligation
For
on
less
the first
than
mortgage and the
$2,000.
second for less than $2,000, and I can get that done in 3 to 6 months. How long does debt resolution take?
Debt resolution for that type of situation would take probably anywhere from 12 to 24 months.
See, here's the thing. Now I'm going to step out of the Ken Gross client for a second and just make a comment to our viewers. Debt resolution works great in the right circumstance, but the right circumstance is when Chapter 7 bankruptcy isn't available, Chapter 13 isn't which we haven't talked about yet, but Chapter 13 is not as good as debt resolution. Debt resolution's another tool we use, But the tool we want to use is the one that gets rid of the debt the fastest at the least possible cost. Now, back to you guys. If I walked into a debt settlement company, would they tell me to go file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, or what would they do?
They'll do the opposite. They'll tell you, under no circumstances you file bankruptcy. We will settle the debt. All you have to do is start paying us money every month so we can put it into account.
And now me as the client, I'll tell you, I went to one of those companies and they said, you don't want to file bankruptcy. They're the ones that have that commercial. If you filed bankruptcy, you don't want to hear this commercial, because they make it sound like it's the worst thing in the world.
Well,
but in reality, it's the best thing in my circumstance, is what you're telling me.
the bankruptcy is, that's correct. Now, debt settlement companies, differing from debt resolution that we do, most of those companies suggest that you can create a 4-year program. And the problem with the 4-year program is that you're going to get sued by everybody in that 4 years, because you can't work on a debt settlement. You can't work on debt settlement and have it be effective over 4 years.
Well, if I get sued, what happens?
Well, with the debt settlement company, 1-800-SAVE-MY-SKIN, so to speak.
It's not usually what you say.
I know. I'm trying to keep it clean.
I've seen your show.
What happens is on page 35.
You don't use the A word either. It's usually the B word. But
All right, it's 1-800-SAVE-MY-BUTT. Okay. Anyway, here's the thing: when you call them and you sign up with them, on page 35, subparagraph 26, in 4-point font of their retainer agreement, it says, "We're not attorneys, and if you get sued, you have to find an attorney." When you get sued and we're doing debt resolution for you, we represent you. It's included.
I'm back to the client again, and I follow what you're saying. So debt resolution's out. You're saying Chapter 7 makes sense.
Is an available option.
I've got the next question is, so I discharged the debt. Is there anything else we can do to deal with my house? We're coming up to a break, but I've heard you talk about this thing of lien stripping, getting rid of second mortgages. Does that happen in a Chapter 7?
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Let's do announcements. We want to remind our viewers to listen to us on WCHB 1200 AM every Tuesday, noon to 1, 6 to 7 p.m. for Law and Reality Live, and on Thursdays with Cliff Russell from 3 to 4 p.m. on 9:10 a.m. every Thursday, 3 to 4 p.m., Law and Reality Now. We've got 2 seminars coming up. First one is coming up Wednesday, August 24th at our offices in Bingham Farm, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. I'm not going down with the ship, time to ditch the debt. This is a seminar focusing on preserving future income for you and your family, all the ways that we use to eliminate debt, but the mantra isn't on debt, it's on preserving income so that you've got money in the bank to spend for you and your family. That's what your responsibility is to do. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. This seminar is free. To sign up, go to lawandreality.com or go to thavgross.com, or you can call 888-235-HELP. We have the next seminar coming up for elder law issues. It's called Medicaid for Dad. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Help. It's Wednesday, August 31st, 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. Pat Simasko, our elder law expert, co-sponsor of the show, is going to walk us through all the methods and processes to use for Medicaid planning and veterans aid and attendance benefits. I'm going to talk about basic estate planning for people in their 40s to 60s. Brian's going to talk about debt issues in that situation. Also want to remind all of you that you don't just have to come to the seminar. Free consultations are available anytime you choose. You just go to thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, and click and request a consult, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. Pick up the phone, call 888-235-HELP, and we'll be glad to set up an appointment with you. There's also free reports on our websites, thavgross.com, lawandreality.com, Pat Simasko's Guide to Social Security, how to form a business in Michigan with 14 programs for financing available outside of commercial banks, and how to use Reg X, the hidden secrets to stop foreclosure, written by yours truly. I want to thank our sponsors, Thav Gross, Simasko Law. We'll be right back.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Simasko Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Simasko Law today.
It's devastating, the effects of debt and foreclosure on you and your family. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. Some fear the word bankruptcy, but in reality, it's a strategy to save your home and to eliminate debt. If you're in financial trouble, timing is critical. You need to take action now. We've been saving homes and eliminating debt for over 33 years.
Call Thav Gross, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Welcome back. So you've convinced me. Chapter 7 makes sense. Debt resolution doesn't make any sense for me. It's way too costly. 7's a good deal. But what about this lien stripping thing you always are talking about? What is that?
That option comes into play when we do what's called the Chapter 13 structured reorganization. Basically, you propose a plan to your creditors saying, this is how much I have at the end of the month. This is what I'm offering to pay you for 3 to 5 years. In that option, the bankruptcy code allows you to strip a second mortgage or a third mortgage off the property if the balance of the first mortgage is higher than the value of the property.
All right, so in my case, the balance on my first mortgage is $110,000. The property's worth $100,000. So does that mean I could do this lien strip and get rid of the $40,000 second?
You'll get rid of the second and it's downgraded to an unsecured status, which means it gets paid cents on the dollar for 3 to 5 years. And then when you're done with the plan, the second mortgage is wiped out.
All right, here's where I'm confused. It's so confusing. All right, what I'm confused on is I can't do this in a Chapter 7.
Congress does not allow us to do it in
But
Chapter
you
7.
told me I should do a Chapter 7.
That's right.
So is there a way that I could get the benefit of the 7 so I can walk away from the house if I want to, when I want to? Because I don't know if it's ever going to come back in value or go down, but still get the benefit of the lien strip.
Yes. In this case, because you've discharged all your other debts into Chapter 7, now we do a Chapter 13 after the Chapter 7. We fund the Chapter 13 with the $350 a month second mortgage payment
that's
that
all
you're
I have
making.
left.
That's what is available, because your break-even budget says you can't afford anything, but you've got the second mortgage that you're paying on, $350 a month. Now you stop paying the second mortgage, we pay it into the Chapter 13. You're making $60,000 as a family of 4. You're below the median income. We can do that for 36 months, and what you're going to do is save 20 years, 25 years on your second mortgage.
So
It's gonna be
instead of
gone.
paying $350 a month for the rest of my life for 20 years, I pay $350 a month for 3 years, and I'm one and done.
Exactly, and you're not paying the interest on the mortgage, which is
And because I filed the Chapter 7, if the house doesn't come up in value and I can't sell it and get any equity out of it, I can still walk away.
That is 100% correct.
But by getting rid of the second mortgage, now I only owe 110 on the house. It's worth 100. In 3 years, it could be worth 120, and I could be back to equity. And I like the house. I've got a great man cave in this house that I like to hang out in. Big screen TV.
Perfect.
It may
Stay
not
there.
be the biggest, glorious house, but it's my house.
Yeah,
It
and
means
that's
something to
exactly
me.
right. What we're doing is combining two different tools, two different bankruptcies together. And we, in the vernacular in our industry, we call it a Chapter 20.
So that would be a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13, plus 1 minus 1 equals 20.
So to speak, yes.
So to speak. Question, because I know I've taken up a lot of your time, and I know that when I come into your office, you'll sit with me for an hour, hour and a half, whatever it takes to understand, but this is a half-hour television show, and I know we're running out of time. I got two more big questions. Will I ever be able to get credit again, and can I be fired if my boss finds out I file a bankruptcy?
you cannot be fired. Absolutely not. It's written in the bankruptcy code that an employer cannot take any actions against an employee for filing bankruptcy. So if you do get fired, you can sue your employer. But in 10 years of doing this, I've never had a client call back and say, I was let go because I fired for bankruptcy.
I'll go
I've
one-
never heard of it either.
I'll go one further. In 25 years of doing this, I've never seen a
He's
client.
older.
What about getting credit? Can I
Getting
buy
credit.
Will I be able to lease a car? Will I be
Okay.
able to buy a car?
So after your Chapter 7 bankruptcy, let's just assume you're just doing one. The answer is yes. Almost instantly, credit is available. Car loans are available. Credit cards are available. The most difficult thing will be to get a mortgage. There's a waiting period of anywhere from 2 to 4
I
years.
don't need a mortgage. I have a house.
Right. So you want credit, you can get credit card. You want a new car loan, you'll get a new car loan.
Good. So I can get credit cards and I can go back up to my $50,000 a day.
That's where you shouldn't make that's a mistake that you'll make. You shouldn't do that.
I'm not going to do that. I'm here, and what I want to accomplish is getting rid of the debt and putting myself in a position where I'm building equity. You're telling me I can build equity in the house if I do this 13 and get rid of this second mortgage after I do the Chapter 7. It sounds like it makes perfect sense to me.
Bankruptcy offers a fresh start.
That kind of explains that this is a real case of what we see every day. It's your opportunity. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.